It's as good as it could be, man. It's as good as it could be. How about you?
Got a lot on deck. I'm good. Happy to be here. Just slammed a coffee. I'm glad we're potting early in the day. I want to watch some NBA basketball tonight and catch the Succession episode from last night. So thank you for
Mm,
neglecting your child to do this with me. I really appreciate it.
of course, any day, man. That's what I'm here for. I'm
All
I'm
right,
like
let's.
this person walking out to getting some milk.
Hey, easy now.
No, I'm just playing. Um, talk to us, Will. What are we talking about today? To the people,
Yep.
to the
So
people.
I know the boys love when we do tiers because we hit on basically every team in the league. So we've
Yep.
got some new tiers to break out for the guys. We got a league member spotlight. I swear, every time I send out the league member spotlight, the dudes in the chat, whoever I send it to, they immediately start geeking and they like send me like paragraphs and all great answers. And it's a great segment on the show. The last person that I did the league member spotlight for, who we're going to feature on this episode, laid out a great how not to do a league member spotlight. This is exactly how
Okay.
you do not respond. So we'll
All
go
right.
through that. And that's about it. I don't think there's much to talk about. Any other like random stuff going on in the league these days that like we need to discuss at the top, or could we get into these tiers?
No, yeah, I think we can get into the tiers. Stuff will come up as we go, as it usually does. But yeah, it's been a quiet first 6 weeks. Uh, some there's some interesting stuff we talked about, some interesting teams and hot starts for the teams we talked about on the last podcast. Those are a little bit cooled off. Some of them did not. We're gonna probably touch on those when we doing these rankings, but or tiers. I mean, it's kind of like the same start as the last year. You almost already know who's gonna make the playoffs, who's out, who's really gonna be like fighting to the nail when it comes to the last stretch. So we'll see, I guess.
Trout with a good point in the chat that Brina being gone was kind of like a big
Hmm.
headline in the chat. So I know it was like talked about a couple weeks ago. Brina got really upset that people were talking about, possibly replacing him, and he was saying that he was going to try to play, but now I guess there's no TV where he's going, so he's not going to be able to play.
Oh shit! So you don't know the latest update?
No, I
Reverse the
don't. Tell me.
deck. Yeah, hit you with the Uno reverse card. I sent him a link for that. So it's like a portable gaming station. You can put everything. Here's an Xbox X. So I think he's gonna end up buying Xbox S, which is the one I have, smaller version of it. But you can just put it in a case. I use it on my deployment too. Put it in a case. Controllers on the side, and it's just one plug. Plugs into the wall. It has a little HDMI. You can plug it in there and get. It's like a suitcase. You can bring it on your I remember when I went to when I was on a plane, people were freaked out. They were like, "What's in that? What's in that?" Because I was in the English one. They thought it was some kind of high tech military shit. I was like, "It's just my Xbox." So I sent him that, and he's actually I think he said he talked to the people on the ground, wherever he's deploying to, and they said it's pretty chill. So he's gonna buy that gaming station and bring his Xbox. Sounds like Brina staying.
All right, tremendous.
Yeah, yeah. So if you didn't know, this is a good way to find out. At least that's the
I
hope.
didn't
We'll see how everything unfolds.
I didn't know that. No, I had a
Mhm,
kind of busy week, so I missed a couple days in the chat. So, but that's huge. That's great.
mhm.
Great information. So, let's quickly jump into what the tiers are. Then we'll take a quick break for the league member spotlight, and then we'll go boom, 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 put guys on the board. Sound good?
Take it away.
All right. So, we got new tiers
Oh
this
shit.
season. We got 5 tiers starting at the top. We got the big daddies. So, these are the elite of the elite, Super Bowl contenders. Then
Mm-hmm.
we get the not so big daddies. We're thinking about, playoffs, playoff bubble, these teams are probably going to end up with 10 plus wins, but not in that, top tier. Then we got the average Joes, kind of like the middle of the pack, the bubble teams that maybe they don't have such a great chance of making it in the playoffs, but um, yeah, we just kind of got the middle of the pack guys. Lovable underdogs, so teams that are struggling but kind of finding their way a little bit, can really beat anybody in any given game, but not really threatening for a playoff spot. And then we got the bottom feeders, which is kind of the bottom of the barrel. in terms of the All Madden League.
Yeah, and then I think we can start off by, are we starting from top bottom? I know last time we kind of like alternated. What's the plan for you today, for us today?
I was kind of just thinking, I want to hit on all the teams. Um, I don't really have any agenda for order here. I kind of just want to start. I like starting with kind of what's easy and doesn't need to be hashed out too much. And like, so if we just alternate kind of picking, and you say like, I got this team, I'm putting them in this tier, and then we could kind of hash it out. That way, we're jumping around, and we're not just going
Yeah,
like, all right, best teams to worst team. I
yeah.
think that'd be a good way to do it.
You want to just follow the suit and kind of like we see, so like starting with Cardinals, Falcons, and Ravens.
We could do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
It seems pretty randomized already. So, um, well,
Is that
so
an yeah? That's an alphabetical order in by city, but that's perfect. We could do that.
yeah, yeah. It's totally. Oh yeah, I
Uh,
guess Arizona, Atlanta. Yeah, that will be fun. All right, well, let's hear this awful
I
LMS.
know, dude. Yeah. So that was the teaser. We'll get to the tiers, but you guys got to hear this. So I send it out. I go, my man, you have been selected for the league member spotlight. Like, answer these questions whenever you can. You, like I've said, I've gotten from RK Timmy lately, where it's just like I show it to Cynthia. I'm just like, look at this shit, and they're just like scrolling for days. It's like, yeah, it's
Hmm.
league member spotlight. They're blowing me up. They're sending me all the information.
Yeah.
This is a time where you can kind of have your voice right into the pod. Like you got some shit to say it
Hmm.
through the league member spotlight. But this one was from Hank. Hank was up for the league member spotlight. And let me just put this in the camera so you guys can see. Questions. Look at those
Oh, the
answers.
question is longer than the answer. That's
Exactly, dude.
that's awesome.
So
Nah.
I mean, I ask him, age, where you live, what you do for work, favorite Madden or DMVR memory, favorite Madden player, fun fact, anything else. You know the drill.
Yeah.
And he sends me this, and I hit him back with, "You're a writer, and this is the best you got." He still hasn't even opened that message. So
Mm,
I was a
damn.
believer in the Steelers for about 8 hours this season. I could
Oh,
not be
really?
more out on them. But here are the answers from Hank.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Well, do you know how old Hank is?
He's like I think he's one of the younger guys in the chat. I'm gonna guess like 25.
26, close.
Okay.
Lives in
Yeah.
Denver. His favorite memory was the 15-2 season. So the first season from this Madden was his best memory, going 15-2 and then making the AFC Championship game.
Wow. Okay.
Not really
That's
a
it.
memory.
Yeah. I guess. But I feel like he was way more successful in last Madden, so I'm surprised he didn't bring any of those Lamar Jackson years out. Um, okay. I mean, not much to go off there.
I know.
Picking
Yeah,
up bones
exactly.
here.
Not a
Yeah.
lot of nothing to chew on. So his favorite Madden player, of course, he's not going user. He's just going player.
Hmm.
Um, Justin Jefferson. He was sick my first season. I don't even remember him having that. That must have been before our time.
Yeah. Well, no, because Justin Jefferson.
He did
Who
not
had him
have him
last
on me.
Madden?
I had him at a point. I think Jarrell had him.
Oh, so he didn't have him last Madden. Okay, yeah, I don't know
I
then.
don't think so. He was sick my first season. Yeah, so probably before us.
Oh, I thought we came in at the same time, but you're right. He was there like a year before we were, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Fun fact. This is a major red flag, okay? Fun fact, I'm 5'9". First of all, that is not
Immediately,
a fun
no.
fact. That is not a fun fact, one.
It's
Two,
a
if you're
it's a
saying
handful of
it,
that. Yeah.
if you're saying it as your fun fact, I'm gonna venture to guess that it's not true.
Hey, so fact, the definition of a fact, I'm guessing, is something that's 100% true. What is opposite of fact?
I think
Like by definition, you think you're a college educated.
fiction, opinion,
Fiction? Yeah, it's
falsehood.
fiction.
Yeah.
It's fiction. I like it. Yeah, it's definitely fiction. That's like this is not Tinder, bro. We don't believe you. Just the fact that
Not
you
at
have
all.
to say it as your fun fact, man, I feel bad for his girlfriend. That's the funnest thing about him. He's
Yeah,
5'9".
damn.
That is not 5'9", I guess.
Yes, like that
And
you want people to think that you're 5'9". I remember seeing Hank in Denver and in London, and I'm 5'10". Like, I'm right at 5'10". I barely scratch 5'10", all right?
yeah, I'm five
And
eight, and I don't think I'm shorter than Hank.
I don't think you were either.
No, I think I'm taller even.
I think him and Zach are, like, very similar in height, but I don't see them
Yes,
every day, I don't know. But
that's
that's
true.
just what my memory was.
I agree.
And then I hit him
Okay.
with anything else. Anything else is the last one, and he just gives me a nope on anything else. Like,
All right, get him, chat. Get him.
yeah,
That was
don't be
very.
like Hank.
Yeah, that this is. Yeah, you said it perfect. Like if you want an example of what we're not looking for the LMS, it's this. It's just little give us a little more seasoning on it. Something fun to talk about. But yeah, for a writer too. Hmm, a little underwhelming.
Quite underwhelming. All right, but let's get back to important things.
Yeah, that's fun
So the
stuff.
tiers. The boys love the tiers, and this is the first tiers of season 4. And you kind of said it, like season 4, nothing has really been shocking about the start of this season, but we'll get into all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so do you want to go
Okay.
first? You said you wanted to start like with the Cardinals here.
Yeah, I like it this way because I can pull up their schedule ahead of time and I can have like a
Cool.
little bit of uh idea of what I'm gonna talk about. So Cardinals, I pulled up a Cardinals schedule because they are 5-1. They're having a really good season. Dak Prescott was having put really he put some really good games together back to back before last week against the Packers. Um, and now that I'm pulling up his schedule, I am a little bit alarmed. And let me talk you through his 5 wins out of the 6 weeks. Right, week one Rams, week two Texans, week three Buccaneers, week four Seahawks, week five Packers, and then 49ers again, or 49ers within the division again. So 3 wins in the division already: Rams, Seahawks, Niners. Not necessarily close. So as we predicted earlier into the season, Cardinals are probably going to win this division, but 8-33 loss to the Packers. Talk to me. Is that how alarmed are you? How much are you smashing the panic button, or is it you think this is just one and off?
I think we talked about the Cardinals last pod, and it was like I'm not fully alarmed by this loss. Like, I'm not thinking like, you know, well, let me just say this. I think last pod I kind of went out there big for the Cardinals and said like he had a deep playoff run last season. He beat Alex, and in a decent game, he beat him twice basically. So I was all
Mhm.
in on the Cardinals. But to get spanked like that by the Packers, I think Packers is another conversation altogether because we have a season and a half sample size of them being dominant on defense.
Yeah.
That's a conversation for later. But I just
Mhm.
think it brought the Cardinals back down to earth a little bit. I think if they were 6-0, I'd have no issue throwing them in big daddies with a win over Alex, a win over the Packers. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Were you thinking not so big daddies for Cardinals or down to
Uh,
average Joes?
I think you know I would have put not so big daddies if Alex was Alex of old. I
Mm,
would have called a really good win. But right now, I'm just not impressed with any of these. Um, and then only one good team he's played is the Packers, and he was not even close. The 8 points, I'm pretty sure he came into last quarter in garbage time too. Yep.
yep.
Well, he scored. Basically, he got shut out. Some garbage point touchdown there with 2 point conversion, but he was 33-0 going into the at the end of the fourth quarter. So that's alarming. I think that really weighs him down into average Joes, and I hate to do this to him because I am rooting for the Cardinals. We like the Cardinals team. Uh, they had a really deep playoff run last year, also, but this is another NFC playoff team that you really did not show up. Now it does say this game's been played twice. I wonder what the desync looked like in that, but end result is very alarming. Next 3 games before the bye, he has coming up Browns, Jacks, Titans. So he could literally go. He could be going to week 10, his bye week, being 9-1, or would that be make 81, 8-1? So
I would be surprised if he wins all three of those, though. I
you
think
think
either the Browns, I think either
or Titans?
Castro will get him or the
Yeah,
Titans will get him.
yeah,
I don't know
good
about
point.
Terrell. Terrell might be packing it in this season.
Yeah, agreed.
All right,
Okay,
let's go to
so
the
average Joe's,
back to
if
back. Yeah,
and
sorry.
obviously we'll move them around if we think people are deserving. But I feel like when I see right now what I see, I think average Joe's is, and this is probably the top of the average Joe's. All right, take us away with Atlanta.
No, I'm with you. I agree. All right, back to back Super Bowl champions Falcons. They're 4-1. Their one loss is to the Panthers, and I feel like they split just about every year. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't put too much stock in that. I think they're super even teams in the regular season. So the Falcons, and they just beat the Jets pretty handily. I see nothing to take them out of Big Daddy's. I think it would be disrespectful to have them out of there. What do you think?
No, I agree. Yeah, back to back, defending Super Bowl champs. Uh, we're not gonna dig right too much. We've said a lot of good things about the Falcons. Improved the roster, added Debo. He's winning big games. He belongs up there.
Yes, sir. All right, Ravens. I'll
Ravens.
let
I
you
don't
go
think we
with
should.
this one.
Yeah, I don't think we need to spend too much time. Yeah, too little too much. Little. You put a little bit of chip on the shoulder with your recent comments in the chat earlier. That unfortunately our boy Zach, suffered the
Yeah.
consequences for. That's the only win he has on the seasons. Is week 5 against the Rams, 42-28. It was a commendable win from him. He threw 6 interceptions himself, but on defense he had 4 takeaways, and um, outside of that though, that's all that is. He's cracked into double digits on offense twice against the Browns at 16 points and then against the Titans at 14 points. So I think this is a definition of bottom feeder as of right now.
Dare I say that me going at Cam in the chat has turned him into a lovable underdog, though? Because I feel like there's a
People are
contingent of
rooting
the
for them.
chat. People are rooting for him for sure.
Yeah, but hold on. Ravens. We have on the schedule, we have Packers, Steelers, Vikings, Patriots, Bills, Steelers, Dolphins, Bengals, Jets, Lions, Chargers. I don't think he'll win another game.
Okay, all right, but he's definitely a lovable underdog right now. People are rooting for him at least. We got the
Okay.
rest of the season to move him down to bottom feeders. Let's give him the nod and lovable underdogs.
Gotcha. I won't argue against that. All right.
All right, Bills. I gotta go in on Timmy here. Like he gave me some explanation in Telegram for why his two biggest games of the season, Dolphins and Jets, back to back weeks. He had a CPU game. His brother, I guess, was visiting. If my brother is visiting,
Mhm.
he's watching me play Madden. Like it's
Yeah.
happening. Or
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
carve out an hour to play. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. No, I
Is
don't like it. I mean, you have 4 division losses within the first 6 weeks and 1 win against the Jets, I guess, in week 3. But no, this is he's packing up the bags. There's no coming back from this. Now with Patriots, Dolphins, and Jets competing in the division. This is it. This is you just wrote a check for your next for your Cancun trip. You are not going to playoffs. I can confidently say, even though he does have a really favorable schedule, unless somebody really limps into the second half of the season from AFC East, there's not much to it. You have 4 losses already. The best you can do is 2-4, and you have to beat the Patriots. Probably not gonna happen. Let me see though.
Yep.
Buccaneers, Eagles, Steelers, Saints, Ravens, Bengals coming up.
Ooh,
He
wow.
could
That
win
could
all
be
of those.
6 wins in a row. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he has Patriots, goes into bye, and then last 4 games, Browns, Panthers, Chargers, Falcons. So it definitely, you know, two to three hard games at the end of the season again. But you drop one of these next 6, and that's it. And you could drop one against the Bengals or the Steelers.
Yeah.
Definitely drop
And
one against Patriots.
a team like the Bills, where they kind of grind it out and play close defensive games, like relying on winning 6 games in a row where they're all going to be kind of close is a risky proposition. So you got time to work your way back up, Timmy, but just this start, this kind of hole you've put
Mhm.
yourself in is why I'm saying bottom feeders. You good with bottom feeders?
Yeah, yeah. I think this is where we at with the Bills right now.
All right. How about the 4-2 Panthers? We got
Four and
Stevie in
two
the chat.
Panthers. All right, Stevie, our boy. Um, okay, so let's talk about it. We got 4-2 Panthers with a huge win, huge split, I should say, against Big Daddy Jason himself. He lost the game to him in a week one, and then he beat him just recently in a close game. He also has he also has a loss to Patriots. So other than that, I mean, beat Saints, beat Cowboys, and Saints twice and Cowboys once. So he has two really good wins there. Okay, Cowboys, Falcons, those are solid wins, and I think
Mhm.
those definitely propel him. I give him more credit for winning those games than I knock him for losing one to Falcons and one to Patriots. And there were Patriot games close 6 point game. The first week, Falcons. I don't care that he lost to it because he even out the series. He beat them the next time. So first, two Falcons game within first 3 weeks into the season within the division is kind of wild. What are we doing this? I don't know what the schedule makers are doing in Madden League, but like I want to have the Falcons game like down week 17, week 18.
Yeah.
Give me that. Give me that. Build some anticipation because that's very anticlimactic to put the biggest
Madden should
division
at least be
ever.
smart enough to do division games in week 18 like the NFL does. Like
Right. I
2
mean,
and 3 weeks,
I
it's gonna
think they
happen
do.
from time to time. No, they don't.
Well, he has Buccaneers week 18, and I think I have. Oh
Oh,
no,
do
I
they? Are
don't.
we
No, I don't. I
Yeah, like
have the
Rams,
Jets.
Colts, week 18. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
you're
anyway,
right.
it
You're right.
sounds like you're saying are you saying Big Daddies?
I don't have a problem with it. Not yet, at least.
Oh, I would have been really yeah, I mean, he lost by 19 to the Falcons in the first week, and I wish that game was a little closer, but he did come back and beat them 2 weeks later, so it's not like he can't, you know? And he played the Patriots, as tough as you can. Like, it was 14-14 going into the 4th quarter. I think I got 2 field goals in the 4th to win the game, so
Mhm.
I'm
So
good
let
with
me
Big Daddy.
let me ask you a question. Let's eliminate the Falcons altogether. Let's say he has wins over Saints twice, Cowboys, and then lost to a Patriots. So it's 3-1. Or they make it 3-1.
Yeah, I
I
think that's like, you took care of what you were supposed to take care of. You knocked out an
you got
NFC heavyweight
yep.
in the Cowboys, and then you played, the
Really close to
Patriots
a
is yeah.
defensive grind out game against one of the top AFC teams. So yeah, I think I can live with big Stevie being in the Big Daddies, especially again like if we put Jason up there and they split the series, I think it's logical. I don't have a problem
Yeah,
with that. Now,
and Stevie's
next three
saying,
games, I should say next two games is going to be very telling because he has Jets and Dolphins coming up, and
"Oh,
yeah, you, if you want to stay in the Big Daddies, in my opinion, you got to win both of those games.
yes, both. Yes, agreed."
Yeah, yes, because I think those are just tier under the Falcons and Patriots, but still very good teams, and it's a really good test early into the season.
No doubt about it. All right,
All right.
cool. Moving on to the Bears. So the Bears are 3-2. They have wins over the Cowboys, Lions, and Ravens, and losses to the Seahawks, and the Bengals. Two close losses, a 5-point loss and a 6-point loss, and then otherwise
Mhm.
3 wins. 2 against
I'm a
playoff
little
teams, 1
surprised.
against the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I thought Bears were struggling a little bit more. That I did watch that game against Seahawks, and I think they gave me a little bit of wrong impression. Win over the Cowboys is big. Win over the Lions is big, and both of them. I guess Cowboys win over the 3 point, but Lions looks like a 2-3 score game. They're 28-13. Uh, hmm. Let's see. We got Eagles, Vikings, Chiefs coming up. Uh, 3-2. That loss against the Seahawks, and we're gonna talk about Seahawks later too. But
Mhm.
if that's a win, I'm feeling good putting in there not so big daddies or above. But as of right now, in 3-2, Bengals Seahawks loss, I think they brings him down to average Joe's. He's right there with Derek.
I'm with you. Like Lou and Lou can beat anybody, and Scott's been in the playoffs, but those aren't like great losses. So I'm with you.
Right, right. Yeah, even though they were close. And then we
All right,
talk,
right into the Bengals. Yeah,
yeah, right to
nice.
the Bengals. I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Bengals this year. This is great.
I know, dude.
Yeah,
4-2. I wish he didn't drop that game against the Steelers.
I know. That's the one that bugs me the biggest. But he's gonna have a chance to make that one up. He does need to beat the Browns in 2 weeks, and then he has to take care of business against obviously. And I don't think he won't, but he needs to take care of business against Ravens. Listen, you win at least 3 divisional games, at least, right? We're talking roadmap for you to get into the playoffs. You gotta win the division, and if you don't at least tie in the division, you won't. You can't lose out division because all the other games are just kind of like easy across the all of their for all of NFC North, AFC North. Uh, he has Vikings coming up. He has Vikings on a schedule, 49ers, obviously Ravens, but he also has teams like the Patriots, the Jets, the Lions. So
Raiders.
average Joes for sure. Average Joes need you to take care of the division. That's your number one priority right now. Well, as we know, wild card race is gonna be tight. I don't think you get in there with 10 wins. Best way you can get into playoffs is win 3 to 4 games in a division. 4 gets you in the 4 seed, right? I mean, he has to. So you already dropped one to the Steelers. You're 1-1. You have a chance to take the lead against the Browns. Um, I'm rooting for you, kid. Come on, make us proud.
I agree. I agree. All right, what about the Browns? So moving on to the Browns, kind of I feel like the Browns could be in like not so big daddies if they had held close with the Dolphins last week because they had such a they beat the Steelers in like a really close game. Hank missed the game-winning field goal at the end. I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember that. And
I do.
then he goes into Houston and he wins 37-10 against Alex, two-time champ. And it's like, all right, shit. I'm applauding Castro in the chat. It's like, dude, you finally, that's a huge win against like a really good player. That's huge. And then he gets shut out by the Dolphins 26-0. So that's why I have a little bit of like it gives me a little pause about the Browns.
Yeah, me too. And I don't mean to come down on Brown too hard, but watch this. Let me tell you what the upcoming schedule looks like, and tell me if you feel worse or better.
Oh boy.
Cardinals, Bengals, Patriots, Packers, Jets, Bengals, Bears, Bills, Lions, Vikings, Broncos.
Oh man, that is
Yeah, I mean all the winnable games are done. You have Vikings, probably that you'll be a favorite in. Maybe against the Bengals, it'll be a push, right? They're kind of like duking it out in there. But all these other guys, like you're really gonna have to lock in and get some wins here because there's no freebies, and that's what happens when you win the division.
mhm.
But same that this is why I think Bengals going back to Scott get 4 wins in the division, and everybody else will take care of business. We already said we're off the Steelers. Browns have a brutal schedule. This is the roadmap. This is the perfect opportunity for Scott to come in and kind of take the AFC North and win the division, get into the playoffs.
Okay,
So
so I threw him in average Joe's. Is that cool?
yeah, average Joe's very easily could be downgraded to no, I won't say lovable underdogs. I don't think anybody thinks Trout's a lovable guy at this point in his all Madden career. But um, he could really plummet here if he loses next 3: Cardinals, Bengals,
But
Patriots.
also ton of upside too, right? Like he's got a really
Yeah,
hard schedule. If he's able to get through these games and win the division with this schedule, like
That's great.
Shit,
That's
I
a
think
great
people
point.
will
Yeah,
change the narrative on the Browns.
that's a great point. Here's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of him losing out and the Bengals dropping the ball, and then division just goes to the shiniest turd, and that then I'm
Mhm.
just not excited about them. But that's what happened last year. Coming in, they pulled off a huge upset in the wild card round. So
True.
we'll see about that. But yeah, average Joe's. I think looking like the average Joe's is gonna fill up the most as usual because I guess the most of the league is average. Okay.
Oh, man, and alright, moving on to the Cowboys. I'm looking at the
Yeah.
Cowboys schedule. I didn't realize it had gotten this bad for him. So he's 2 and
Mm-mm.
4.
Yeah. Not good. Not good.
Wins over Giants and Commanders, losses to Bears, Panthers, Giants, and Packers. Losses to 4 good teams, but his schedule is littered with good teams. So
Hmm.
it's like he gets no break.
Yeah, he'll have a. I mean, he'll have a break down the stretch with Vikings, Eagles. But
But then he's got Broncos, Raiders,
yeah,
Cardinals, Eagles again, and then Patriots and Chiefs.
yeah, yep. Underdog. I mean, I can put you in a favor dog at 2 and 4, and if, when Bears are having a little more success in your own division in your backyard. So, uh, Dan has some work to do for sure. This Lions is a good matchup. This is a good test for him to kind of like. This could be the intersection of, hey, are you veering off to putting for the season or are you hanging around? If you lose to the Lions here, that's another NFC loss. Add that to one, two, three, four NFC losses already. You have
Mhm.
they have no AFC games yet. They really backloaded all the AFC games to the end. But
Yeah, and, like, looking at these upcoming games, this Lions game could kinda propel them on a winning streak. Because if he wins this, then he's
yep,
got Chargers, Commanders, Vikings, Eagles, and then if he
exactly.
rattles those off, then he's what, 7 and 4? And right in
Yeah,
the thick of it.
yep, exactly. And then he'll have to win big ones against Broncos, Raiders, Cardinals again. And then Patriots and Chiefs to close out. So I do think this is a big game. This is like quite literally the crossroads. You gotta take this. You gotta, and I just don't need like squeak away. I need a confident win here.
Our viewers just dropped from 4 to 3. I wonder if that was, Trout leaving after we finished talking about his team.
Maybe.
If you're in there, Trout, say something. Alright, next we're on to the Broncos, who got their first AFC loss in 2 seasons. So I
Yes,
think
this yeah. I think Big Dad is obvious spot for him, man. Man, interesting one. Do we feel as confident about Broncos as we have the last since last season, or are we kind of like, is the book kind of like coming out on how to beat the Broncos?
I don't know. I I c as Stevie is saying in the chat, I don't like Dan with all this bulletin board material. I'm not trying to give RK any fucking bulletin board material, alright? He's still 5 and 1. He was up 24 nothing on me in the 3rd quarter, like, that
Yeah,
game could have easily been a blowout, but Hendon Hooker, went crazy. But
yeah.
you held him to 31 points, which was impressive. Like, you tightened the gap between the Raiders and the Broncos a little bit, but I
Hmm.
think we were talking about it before we even went live. He doesn't look like he has like a loss on his schedule left, so I don't think
Yeah.
he's going to be 1 or 2 seed. He's a great playoff performer.
Hmm.
He's I wouldn't say that the book is out on him by any means.
No, yeah. I was honestly teeing up for you because you don't want to beat him, so maybe you want to take some jabs at him. But yeah, you're right, man. I mean, guy prepares. Talking about playoffs, guys are you know, guy prepares like no other in playoffs. And then if not for Jason, he might be a undisputed goat in Madden right now. So thank you, Jason. First of all, second of all, we talked about this. You mentioned it. We talked about the schedule, man. Giants, Titans, Chargers, Chiefs, Jags, Cowboys, Chiefs, Eagles, Packers, Texans, Browns. I don't see a game that he's not a clear favorite in, and that's probably like a not a I'm not blowing anybody's heads up with that take, but it's just I don't see him losing to any of these teams, even the good teams like Packers uh, or the
No,
Cowboys. It's just
no.
this. Yeah, matchup wise, he's just gonna step on the throat, and not really give you chances. He's not a risky player, which I know Packers probably like playing against because he has a pass rush, he has the defense. He's gonna take his threes in the red zones. He's gonna make you earn it on the offense too. So he's probably as sure of a you know candidate for that top spot as anybody else.
I'm looking at possibly the Giants to give him a tough game. Titans could give him a tough game defensively. I just don't think he'll be able to hang with him offensively. And then the Texans. But other than that, I agree with you. Like not a lot of options to knock him off.
Great, cool. All right, move us along, buddy boy.
Lions. The Lions are 3-2. They have wins against the Commanders, Vikings, and Eagles. Oof.
Yeah.
And wins against and losses to the Bears by 2 possessions and lost to the Packers by 2 possessions.
Not looking good at all.
No.
I didn't expect to see this, but this is very uninspiring um resume
Ooh,
so
and look
far.
at the next 4 games coming up.
Yeah,
Cowboys, Giants, Packers, Falcons. Oh boy.
yeah. I think for now I'm putting Lions in lovable underdog because we do like Edge. He's a big Madden guy, so we do like watching uh Lions play. But g- gotta give me something to make my case for you for. Uh, Only two good teams you played so far. You have losses against, but this next 4 games, win 3 out of 4, and we're talking, you know, not so big daddies or average Joes at least, right?
Yeah, that's why I love
Um,
doing the tiers right now. It's like if you don't like your position, there's very much like you have a
mhm,
lot of things you can do about it, you know?
for sure, for sure. And then I think you and I are doing pretty good. Kind of like giving you ideas how you could make it. You could get bumped, or you can get up to the higher level. So take it as you will. Source material, as you said. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, early bye week for the Lions. So that's all we got so far. All right, Packers next. The division rivals. Sheesh, is this the only
I know.
undefeated team left?
It is. And I wrote on my phone in my pod notes. It's the only pod notes I have for this week. And it's we have a 1.5 season sample size of the Packers being absolute dogs on defense. What do we do with this information?
Hey, we're running with it.
Yes.
This is becoming one of the top teams in the NFC, right? Yeah, Big Daddies for sure. I mean, look at the defense. The defense has given up more than 10 points once this year, and that was against the Lions in a blowout, 43-27.
Yeah,
All the
crazy.
other ones, nine gave up 9 points, 3 points, 10 points, 8 points, 7 points. Just suffocating defense. Gives up nothing on defense, and not all of these teams are bad either. Gave up 10 points to Bengals, gave up 8 points to Cardinals, 7 points to Cowboys. I mean, Cardinals, Cowboys, these are offensive juggernauts in the NFC
Yeah,
side, right?
dude.
Yeah,
Cowboys
these are,
on the road held them to 7 after the
yeah.
Cowboys free agency we saw, like Kelsey and
Oh,
Derrick Henry.
exactly. So he, big things for the Packers. Not schedule is not getting harder. I mean, he's already beat the hard teams. I feel like he has Ravens, Commanders, Lions again, Bears, Browns, Vikings, Bears, and then I mean before his bye week, which is week 14, there's a he might go undefeated. He might go undefeated going into his bye week. He might be 13-0, and then he comes out and he has the Panthers and Broncos, Steelers, Giants. Uh, Even if he loses 2 out of those 4 games, let's say he loses the Broncos and maybe Giants or maybe the Panthers, he's still a 2-3 loss team, probably a number 1 seed in the NFC. So it's a big daddy. Great things come. That defense is finally coming together. Nick Bosa's eating that secondary. I don't remember if he has any superstar, blue chip names in the secondary, but he must have found people there making plays for him.
Check on that for you.
Oh, I was about to
Pulling
pull it
up
up
his
myself.
So he's got Clark Phillips, that guy, that rookie who was like really good. He's a normal dev, but he's 89 overall. He was like the best, most highest overall player out of the draft. And other than
Yeah.
that, yeah, nothing crazy. He's got a superstar, Andrew Makuba. Oh shit. He's 22 years old, superstar, 86 overall. That's really good. Strong safety. Paulson
Yes.
Adebo, superstar corner, 85 overall.
Yeah, so he has Nick Bosa is who leads his team, right? 14 TFLs, 10.5 sacks already. Interceptions, like I said, nobody really out there jumping off the stat sheets. You have his interception leader is Paulson Adibo with 3, and then he has a bunch of guys with 2 and a couple of with 1s. Um, but he's clearly turned the ball of 3 forced fumbles. He's turned the ball over with anybody and everybody all over the field.
It's
Devin
awesome.
White's making plays, so yeah, for sure. Nick Bosa though, 10.5 sacks. Next closest one on the team is 2.5. Calavion Chase on. So this is Nick Bosa's year. We don't have the yearly awards, but I'm guessing he must be a favorite on defensive DPOY.
It's got to be. Yep. Back-to-back seasons. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so Packers, Big Daddies, welcome to the Big Daddies clubs. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
You were laying out the schedule. He's just got to get to the bye week, like wrap up the division, and then if he can win Panthers or Broncos, either one of those games, that should give him the confidence of like, look, I can make a Super Bowl run. Those are two top
Mm-hmm.
teams, you know.
Exactly.
All
All
right,
right, Mister Two Times, talk to me.
we got Easy 80 in the chat, so let's be careful with what we say. This is the toughest one. Like, do we just file this as, he's had slow starts to every season. This is
Yeah.
another one of those.
Uh huh.
And he's going to make a run. He's going to be in the playoffs and he's got championship pedigree. Or is this a sign of the rest of the league catching up to Alex a little bit? What do you think it is?
I don't know. I think this is a team that is lacking some superstar talent. I mean, talent's there, but there's no superstar production. There's no quarterback. There's no. I mean, he just had a game with 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He won 18-15 against the Seahawks, but there's just not a lot of punch on that team. Stevie with a big jab. Texans washed. Funny. I love this Stevie and Alex AFC NFC beef.
I
It's
know.
great.
It's great.
Yeah, but yeah, man, we definitely have some work to do in Houston. We got some work to do. I mean, starting off the season, losses to Raiders, Cardinals, and then we're like, this is when we're like, oh, he's fine. He's gonna win the next, 2-3 games, and he'll be back. And he did. He beat the Chiefs and Colts. Again, like 24, 20 points. They're not really like offensive juggernaut. He's never been an offensive juggernaut, but 1 point win against the Colts, who don't forget he's been one of the biggest respecters of Beef and his
He
defense.
is a Beef supporter for sure.
Yeah. And then he had a really bad loss to the Browns, Seahawks. So man, I don't know. This is a tough call. This is a tough call. Do we just say that this is a usual Alex start of the season? Because he 6 games in, like we're almost at the halfway point. What do you think? And look, let me say what the games are coming up looking like. We have
Mhm.
Chargers, probably a CPU for now. We got Patriots, Jags, Rams, Panthers, Jags, 49ers, Titans, Colts, Broncos, Titans. So mixed, right? Not too hard of a schedule, not definitely not an easy cakewalk either. What's your opinion here?
I'm trying to find like a few more losses on the schedule because he's 3-3 right now, right? Like if he's
Mhm.
under 10 wins, if he goes 9-8, it's like, damn, then yes, this is not, the Alex that we're used to. And I'm trying to find losses on the schedule. It's like, all right, Patriots, he might lose that one. Panthers, he might lose that one. Broncos, he might lose that one. But I think I need to throw this out. Like he just lost to the Browns. Like he lost to the Cardinals. He got blown out by the Raiders. He could lose to anybody. So I genuinely don't know what to do with this team. He says we will figure it out. We always do, and I trust him. So I mean I wouldn't go anything lower than average Joe's. What about you?
Oh yeah, average Joe's. Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
a good place. Again, like this is a not even halfway through the season, right? Tier. So you don't like it, we're telling you what you need to do. So I want you to see go. You got to win next three out of the four. Patriots is a hard game, but you got a CPU game against the Chargers. Jags, Jags a wild card team, right? They can have some good games here and there, but That
Mhm.
Jags, Rams, these are winnable games. You cannot afford to drop one of these games against Chargers, Jags, or Rams before your bye week. Um, you take care of the business in the next 3 weeks, then you come out with a confidence, probably some XP XP scenarios. Hopefully you get some guys upgraded, get ready for the second half of the season, and then just you got to take on the Panthers right at the gate, and then you got a bunch of winnable games again. So I mean, you said it, man. He's probably gonna win the division. Maybe we'll talk about that, but
Mhm.
yeah, uh, average Joe's is where Texans find themselves right now.
All right, Colts. Colts are 2-3. They have 2 wins against the Jaguars, and then they've lost to the Texans, Broncos, and Bengals. Texans, Broncos, Bengals, 3 good teams.
Yeah,
So maybe there's something there with the
yeah.
Colts, but
Bengals.
he does.
I was gonna say Bengals a 3 point loss, Texans a 1 point loss,
Broncos.
Broncos.
That's just a bad matchup.
Yeah, a lot of point loss. We'll see. It's kind of the same thing here. Not a crazy hard
Definitely not a
schedule,
bottom
but
feeder.
this is gonna be a race. I mean, AFC South is gonna be a race. We'll see who's gonna figure it out the soonest, right? Because Titans are probably gonna be at the end. Yeah, we're gonna talk about them too, but they're also in a mix, and they're probably leading the division right now. So everybody has some work to do. Man, where are we putting them? I don't know. Talk to me.
I put him in the lovable underdogs because
Okay.
he doesn't have like any playoff appearances yet to give him like average Joe's treatment. When I'm looking at the other average Joe's teams, like Cardinals are what, like 4-1, and the
Yeah,
Bengals
that's
and
true.
Browns are right
Yep.
in the thick of it. Texans, Bears. So he's right on. You know,
Yeah,
behind the Lions and the Cowboys. I think is a good spot for him.
I agree. I agree. Okay, and we're wrapping up most of the AFC South. Moving on to Jags. Oh,
Bottom
Jags
feeder.
is bottom feeder, super lovable bottom feeder, but yeah, not we're
Yeah.
kind of like punting on the season. Hopefully, he can play for spoiler for some AFC teams here, but other than that, seasons it's sad, but week 6, season's over.
Damn. All right. Next is on to the Chiefs, another team that has had some success in the AFC. He didn't make it to the Super Bowl like Jarrell, but he's been like around 10 wins every season, and just a really tough start to this season. He's 1-5 right now, and I
Yeah,
think
that's
if we're putting Timmy in the bottom feeders because he has like a huge gap
yeah.
to make up, we got to put the Chiefs there too. Unfortunately,
Yeah. There's just nothing to build a case for him right now. Trey Lance is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. He's at least the play wise, right? I mean, AFC West. We talk about this division, how competitive this division is. You're just not gonna. It's just not gonna cut it. So yeah, good luck next
all
season,
right.
right?
Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. All right, Chargers, they're 3-3. They lost their first 3. They've won their most recent 3. Chiefs, Titans, Chiefs. I know that the second Chiefs one was a CPU game.
Was the Titans a CPU game also? No, it was not. That's the Miss Dev game. Um, you know what? Just the fact that we're gonna see a lot of CPU games here against, let's see, Texas, Cowboys, Raiders, Broncos, CPU or not, you'll probably be losing the next 4. So I'm gonna go lovable underdog here.
Mhm.
Just yeah, AFC West, it's looking like it's shaping up already. Um,
Yep.
and this
Turned it
next
into a
4
two-horse race.
yeah, it's turned into a 2 horse race. It's sad that Chiefs and Chargers kind of beat each other up. They kind of like dragged each other down and left each other in the left both of them in the dust in the AFC West race. So, um, I mean, we'll see what happens with Chargers. We're still trying to figure out what the plan is with Brina, and hopefully we'll find out soon. So,
All right, on to the Rams. The Rams are 1-4. Their one win was against the Vikings, and he lost to the Ravens. That was bad.
yeah, bottom feeders. I mean, lost to the Ravens and the Eagles and the 49ers. These are bad teams. You listen to the bad teams, you're a bottom feeder. Patrick Mahomes. Save Patrick Mahomes, right?
I don't know. It depends on who
Yeah,
gets him. I don't mind him just
right.
like wasting away in obscurity.
Like you don't want Joke getting them, right?
Yeah,
Or
well, who could like, Joke has a good quarterback,
Joke had
Christian
him
has a
last
good
year. Remember?
quarterback.
He had two
Yeah,
Super Bowls
true.
with him. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, like, if Alex were to somehow get his hands on him, like, and replace Tua with Mahomes, like, that
Why
I
is
would not
Alex
be a
gonna
fan
do
of.
that? I wonder. I feel like Alex is a
He's
little,
too much of a
little.
Broncos fan to do that.
Oh, you think that's it? Yeah, that would
I
never
mean,
stop
he
me.
probably yeah.
But
I
I'm surprised that some of these good users who are just lacking talent in their offense, just not trying to go. Like if I was Alex right now, I'm like, man, fuck this, fuck Tua. I'm trading Tua, Diggs, another X Factor guy, couple of first and second rounders. Send them away. I'll make a receiver with Patrick Mahomes in season or two. Like it's not a big deal. Um, I mean, trade deadlines in 2 weeks. Alex, this might be a saving grace for the Houston, not just for this season, but moving forward. And
yeah,
to be
they're
fair, Zach is not somebody who's out there throwing out trading people. He's a very stingy player anyway. But
I know, yeah, for somebody that's, like, so, like, fringe in the league, he is brutal in trade negotiations. He's
he
tough.
is. He does not like losing, but that's why I would just give him an offer that he cannot refuse. I'd be like, you can have anybody on my team, as many players as you want, as many picks as you want. Just give me Patrick Mahomes, and I feel like maybe that pushes the envelope. But yeah,
I gave him a
again,
pretty crazy
someone
offer for the offseason.
you did
Yeah, for Mahomes, it was like Will Anderson, Sneed, Hooker, couple like a first.
not. That's
I mean,
not
I think
even
that's
what. That's a
you don't think
terrible. What?
what,
No,
dude? Will
you gotta
Anderson was the second pick of the draft. He's X Factor. He's
come
like 23
on.
years old.
Yeah, who cares about that? Just think about who Zach is, though. He's a big Alabama guy. That means he probably loves Tua. He's a
Will
big.
Anderson went to Alabama.
Yeah, but does he care about Will Anderson right now? Probably not. He probably cares about Tua a lot more. Um, versus Hendon Hooker. But you got to think about this. He's a star power guy, right? He likes star players. Diggs is a big one that pops up. Like
Mm,
Snead is not really a star. I mean, he's good in our league, but he's not a blue chip in the NFL. I don't think he's like a good starter, you know.
yeah, true,
So
true, true.
I think Alex could really make a push for him, and some other guys too, obviously. But I'd definitely throw him a package. If you have the fact is, if you have quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, you don't need to have Stephon Diggs on your roster. And
No,
I learned that the
yeah,
hard way when I signed Michael Thomas. I was like, this is dumb. I don't need him. I drafted two wide receivers. They're both X factors already. Like it's easy.
I'd love to see Beeve make a play for Mahomes too. Like, time to get off Pickett and see what
He
he
did.
could do with like. Oh, he did.
Pick it. Yeah. Hey,
I
you've been
told you I've been busy.
yeah, you've been busy, sounds like. Yeah, no, Beeve, the Colts are no longer starting Kenny Pickett. Anthony
Oh,
Richardson has been starting games in Indianapolis. So he's
Avery Johnson.
Avery Johnson, yeah. Something what did I say?
Anthony Richardson.
No, yeah, definitely not him. Damn it.
Close.
Avery
Avery
Johnson.
Johnson, Anthony Richardson. I could see where you'd get that mixed up. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
he had 3 touchdowns, no picks in his last game. Or yeah, his last game against the Jags. All right. Sorry, Beef.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been having a couple of good games. I'm gonna do some film study on him sometime today, getting ready for next week. But
Nice.
all right.
All right, you're stalling a little bit because the Raiders are on deck. I can give you my take on the Raiders.
Go ahead.
You're in the I was gonna say would have been 100% a Big Daddy. Like if you got one of the like one of those wins
Yeah,
against the Broncos. He
yeah.
beat you
I
twice.
agree.
You have
I agree.
decent wins. Like Texans was a very good win. You dominated him in week 1. You kind of sent him into a spiral. That was great. Um but Eagles, Commanders, Chiefs, like nothing to write home about there in terms of like strength of schedule stuff. So I think not so Big Daddies is kind of where you'd
Yeah,
land.
I agree. And you hit it right on it. If I had one win over the Broncos, that's why the last game last week was so big. I was so close, and I feel like I was on the verge of popping one. Um, I think that puts me over the top. But you're right. Just having somebody like that in my own backyard and just beats me every year, not every year, but back to back years now swept me. Um, First 2 years was split, so I
Mhm.
split. I swept him, and he swept me, and then we split. Having somebody like that, having a lot of success recently, we have to be self-aware. We're not right up there, but and then schedule. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna make any crazy points coming up schedule. If I beat the Colts, Chiefs, Chargers, Jacks coming up before the bye, and nobody's you know going crazy over the Raiders, but the second half of the season is a lot more challenging, and I'm kind of grateful that for the first half is easy. That way, I can really get my momentum over the, some of a lesser of a competition going into week 12 against Giants, Lions, Cowboys. I got Chargers, Bengals in there, Titans, and Jets. So I do feel confident that this is a 4-2 with Chiefs and Chargers behind already. Bills, Jets, both. Bills are, we put them in bottom feeders. Jets, we'll talk about them a little bit, but they're also like I think 4-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just won the game, so nobody's really taking off here. So I think Raiders will have a spot in the playoffs, and we just have to make a run to get to the next level.
It's going to be crazy how coveted those 5 and 6 seeds are going to be
Mm-hmm.
compared to the 7 seed. Because 5 or 6, then you're playing either the Texans or the Titans or the Browns or the Bengals. And if you're stuck with that 7 seed, it looks like you're going to be playing either like the Patriots or the Broncos. So like huge
Yeah,
difference in that
exactly.
first round matchup.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, Dolphins.
It's your backyard.
I know. So started off 3-0 with wins over the Bills, Jags, and Steelers, then got blown out by the Bengals, beat the
Yeah,
Bills, and then blew out the Browns.
yeah. We're lost to the Bengals, right? I mean, when you, I see. So, is this a struggle against higher offenses? You think? Because
I remember I
Brown,
watched that game against the Bengals, and Scott
I
ended up
did
scoring
too.
a lot of points, but he had him locked up. Like
Yeah,
a lot of interceptions.
yeah, yeah. You're right. I do remember watching that game too. I mean, that game was pretty close before fourth quarter, I think too. I think fourth
Hmm.
quarter is when they dropped. Let me see. Uh, oh my God. Yeah, Cincinnati scored 27 in the fourth. So,
Ooh.
uh, yeah, before that, 24-31, 18, 28, 31-31. So before fourth quarter, it was 31-31, and then got outscored 27-6. So it looks like he kind of like wheels came off at the end to close out that game. But yeah, we
But
don't.
I don't think he can. I think he's not so Big Daddy's also. Like, he hasn't done enough to be in
Mm-hmm.
Big Daddy's this season. Like, he beat the Bills CPU and he blew out the Browns, but like, who thought that the Browns were going to beat the Dolphins? I know I didn't. And coming out of the bye, he's got Panthers, Falcons, Jets. So like,
If
he's
he
got
beat
a
if he's
lot of
3-0,
room.
if he's 3-0, yeah, I think we can have that conversation and moving him to the Big Daddies. We kind of did
For
this with
sure.
the Dolphins last year too, I believe. I think we had him in a um what was it?
Elite of the elite. I thought he was in that like for most of the season.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so we kind
Yeah.
of did this, and then he really fell off at the end of the season. We've seen this story too many times. We're gonna see some We're gonna see some consistency from Miami.
Yep. All right. Vikings. 0-5.
Vikings.
Ooh.
Yeah, just nothing to build on here. Like 2 3-point games. Hasn't scored more than 18 in the whole season. Commanders Vikings coming up tonight. Probably gonna lose that one too. Not an easy schedule either. I mean, hopefully he
It's
wins
got
the
the
game against
Ravens.
Eagles, Saints, Ravens. Maybe you win one of those or three of those or all three. But this is bottom feeder for sure. Fortunately,
I know. Yeah, it sucks that, like you said, it sucks he doesn't have like a close loss that we could like build a
yeah.
case for lovable underdogs. But yeah, it's not looking good.
All right, Patriots. All right. Well, this is a interesting one, right? I mean, you gotta put him. The lowest I would put him is average Joe.
No, I said it earlier in the season. I lost to
Oh,
the Jets week 1. I was like, "This is great. I got my wake up call in week 1. Now we can just start, winning games." And it's been a 5-game win streak ever since then. It's been a little too
no,
close for comfort with the Bucks and the Panthers, but
yeah.
and the Saints
Uh,
even. Damn, 34-29. Forgot about that.
I was gonna say, so for somebody who has a very elite defense, at least roster wise, it doesn't really show on the box scores, but those guys come up with the big plays and the big moments, and that's how the Patriots are kind of like building off their winning streak right now. The biggest game of the season probably is the Broncos, right? 24-0 in comeback. Uh, just late mid third. It's almost like that 28-3 Patriots versus Falcons Super Bowl meme, right? Like, can't believe that Broncos blew that game, but that's a signature win of the season. It's a great thing. It's a great starting piece to kind of like start your domination. Again, had another big comeback. And the Hooker had another big comeback against the Buccaneers. They were down 14-0. I think most of the game they couldn't put up any points. But
Asian
you know,
Shipley was possessed, dude. I put
oh my
some
god,
of
yeah,
his
dude could
clips.
not, dude, yeah, he was doing some Asian Chinese dance moves, karate moves, just would not go down. So, uh, no, yeah, Patriots are up at Big Daddies with the big some of those juggernauts up there. Again, like this defense is opportunistic. It's not gonna hold you to. I mean, he has a 32-0 blowout after 5 attempts against the team. Like anybody can do that. I'm not giving you too much credit. Timmy
Ah,
has like five
fine.
plays that he recycles every
Okay,
every
alright,
five
damn.
minutes. But all the other teams you see, he's giving up 31, 29, 24, 20, 14. So it's getting better, but it's opportunistic, right? Makes the big plays,
Mhm.
big moments. Uh, Now, as a division winner in AFC, you're gonna get tough schedule. You got Texans, Browns, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Falcons, Cowboys. These are teams you're gonna have to beat, and you're probably gonna be, favored in most of these. But does Hannah Hooker magic wear off at some point, or is it get better and
Mm,
better as we move on? That's the
I
that's the
think we
thing.
get I think he gets better and better. I think he proves something to the locker room with that huge comeback against the Broncos, and, yeah, we love Hendon.
I mean, I'm sure you love Hendon after that game. 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions on the season, completing 55% of the passes.
Yeah.
Not that exciting, right? But he's staying afloat, keeping a above 1.0 TDINT ratio, 84.4 QBR. He's not gonna blow you away, but like you said, man, he's there's something about that team just knows when to turn it on and knows when to get serious. So uh it's gonna be an interesting storyline for Hendon Hooker. I'm excited.
Alright, moving on to the Saints. Saints are the definition of lovable underdog to me. Love seeing the Saints perform well. I think they, like,
I do
I'm gonna
too, and I love Arch Manning too. I really thought I was gonna get some good stuff with him, which he's not playing horribly. I mean, he only has five, and I think he's taking my advice. I think when we played in preseason, I was just like, "Hey, man, it's the uh, it's Arch Manning. You don't want to mess up his development. Like turn down interceptions, trying to keep it at least 1.0, get him some upgrades. Don't ruin him right away. Give him some chance. And I think he's done that so
Mhm,
far. He's about to play tonight, but so far he's 500 yards passing. So he's obviously taking off um, some weight off his young quarterback's shoulders. 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, uh, 71 completion percentage, and 95 quarterback
ooh,
rating. So, yeah, he's
nice.
definitely, yeah, I like that. That's what I like to see. He's kind of like learning, not just dropping back 50 times. And he has a running back on that team. I don't know who it is. Let me see who's the running back.
It's like Jeremiah Love, I think. He's like some
Yeah, they're
big.
my life. I mean, week one, 14 carries for 171 yards. That's exactly what type of football you
Mhm.
need to run. At least his first season, till he really locked down, abilities for Arch Manning, kind of like, get a feel of his range of skill.
Mhm.
27 carries in week 2 for Jeremiah Love. So yeah, he's definitely feeding his running back, and it's keeping him some games. I mean, he played you close.
He's put
29.
together, like, good quarters, like, a good half
Yeah,
here and there. He hasn't put together a full game yet, but he's played against, like,
exactly,
Panthers, Patriots, Jets, Panthers, like, those are not easy games at all. Maybe he can win against the Rams and the Seahawks, and maybe he can
exactly.
beat the Eagles, maybe steal a game against the Bills. We'll be watching. We'll be watching,
Yep,
Brennan.
yep. I like it.
Alright, Giants. Giants finally got the monkey off his back, beating the
Uh,
Cowboys 28-20. He's on a 3-game win streak. He's 4-1. What do we think?
I think it's I don't think this is quite as good as impressive as the Packers. So I think I'm gonna put him in a not so big daddies,
Mhm.
um, small daddies, some would say, because he's winning really pretty much everything. I mean, you put Cowboys in front of him, he beat them. Chargers, he beat them. Obviously, he's gonna win against the Vikings and the Eagles, but we'll see what comes off next 3 weeks. Broncos, Lions, Jets. Um, we go on we keep our winning streak alive those next three games. Now we're talking maybe bumping you up to big daddies, right? Especially if this is a confident and signature wins. Um Down the stretch, let's see, you got Raiders, Falcons again, or Raiders and Falcons, and then Bears, Packers to close out the season. So this is obviously playoff team having a great success. Not so big daddy is a good spot for now.
Cool. Yeah, he's like his wins are not that impressive. He's got the Cowboys win, which is nice, and
It's
he's
split
got
though.
one foot in.
Yeah,
He's like in the club, kind of like looking around, like making sure nobody kicks him out. Like, but the
yeah.
Broncos would do big things for his reputation.
For
All
sure.
right,
And
Jets.
and just to touch up on that, he does play type of game to really slow down the Broncos' explosive offense, right? He stays, he uses a lot of the game clock to call his plays and snap the ball. He's a slow paced. He really dictates the pace of the game, and there might be a one of the biggest, um, weapons against somebody like RK and the Broncos. So it's not. I'm
I
not.
couldn't
I'm
agree
not
with you
calling him
more.
out for it. Yeah.
He's got that, and he also I remember him being in the chat for the Patriots comeback win over the Broncos. He had a
Mm,
front row seat, so
taking notes.
I believe in Einhorn in this game.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Jets. All right, 4-2. They've beat the Patriots, Bucks, Saints, and Bills CPU. Lost to the Bills.
And
That was
Falcons.
actually his user game against Timmy, and he lost to the Falcons.
Right. So and oh yeah, so he beat the CPU Timmy but lost to the user Timmy.
Hmm.
Mm, I mean the Patriots win is a big one, right? Yeah, probably put him up at not so big daddies. The fact that we know that this is a playoff contender year in and year out helps them out, but definitely need to stay afloat this next couple of games. Panthers, Giants, Dolphins coming up. You lose 2 out of the 3. I think we're moving you down to average Joes. Um,
Hmm.
there's not much wiggle room in AFC East, even with Bills slacking. Dolphins, Patriots, and Panthers. I'm sorry, and the Jets. They're all doing well enough, but you can't afford to lose games in the middle of the season like that. So this next three games, 2 out of 3, probably keeps you there. 3-0. We talk about maybe even moving you up, especially with us. Talk about signature moves, signature wins against the Patriots. That would be all right. Next, Eagles.
Might be a bottom
Oh
feeder.
yeah, bottom feeder. Nice win against the Rams. Wow, all the bad teams are winning against the Rams. Yeah, they
I
must
know.
must be the bottom of the bottom feeder, the Rams.
Hmm.
Yeah. Spencer Rattler chucking the ball out there still. Let me see. Uh,
Or
yeah.
Hurts.
Or they looks like they're switching off. Rattler played the last game. I mean, we're still waiting to see what the Eagles are made of. So
A
far
lot of
we've
room for
seen.
improvement. Surely just
Yeah.
learn how to play league games. You'll get your roster in next Madden, and that'll be, clean slate for you. You just focus on learning right now. Don't focus on doing anything too
Yeah,
crazy.
gotcha. Oh, our
Steelers. All
favorite
right, Steelers are
element.
3-3. Yeah, no, not our favorite. Let's be quick with these guys. These,
Uh,
I mean, he's definitely not out of it in the AFC North, so I think he's got to be average Joe's, but he's not on the level of the Bengals and the Browns right now. Fair.
fair. I'm with you.
Okay. Lou, textbook, another textbook, lovable underdog. He
So
had his
lovable.
moment, right? Remember we talked about it. It was like 2-1 versus 3-0, Seahawks versus Cardinals, and now it's like the Seahawks are 2-4 and the Cardinals are 5-1. So it's
Yeah,
like I don't think it's happening for him. But he
agreed.
played the
All right.
Texans really close.
He did. And he almost won. He was driving for a game tying or winning score there, but ended up throwing a pick. Uh, Lost to the 49ers. Yeah, not much, not much. Lovable though for sure. Underdog almost in every game.
Yep. 49ers,
49ers. Yeah.
2 wins.
Uh,
Yeah, come on,
Rams
bottom feeder.
and Seahawks. I mean, two division rims wins, but Russell Wilson, surprised he's still playing, huh? Russell
I
Wilson
know,
played
yeah.
decent actually. I always get surprised with his numbers. I mean, Russell Wilson, 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 66% completion percentage, 88. So he's literally Hendon Hooker. He's literally Hendon Hooker, just a little bit better even. Um,
Damn, chill. Hendon's got some wins and some playoff wins. Come on now.
so that's right. Um, but yeah, bottom feeder. We'll see. Is that a plan after Russell Wilson? Maybe this next draft. I mean, he's had top picks for a while now.
I don't know.
Maybe the
Sometimes I
train.
feel like Spence is just on autopilot. He's just happy to be here.
Fair enough. Speaking of
Bucks.
autopilot, yeah.
Yeah,
Buccaneers.
seriously.
Just not yeah, nothing there. Just loss after loss after loss. Had a CPU game against the Patriots. Lost bottom feeder for sure. And this is an exciting one. Let's talk about Titans, man. The
Four
funnest
and
roster in
two.
the league. 4-2.
Oh, going into the bye week after a huge win over the Ravens, and he comes out and he's got the Broncos, which is
Cardinals.
yeah.
No, not good, not good. But
But hey, if he drops Broncos, Cardinals, then he's got Colts, Jags, Rams, Colts, Saints to potentially get back on track and rattle off
and
some
then win,
wins.
and then win against the Texans. That could be a division up. That could be a division game right there. Yeah, I'm here for that one. So if we're giving out advice, right? What do we know? But if we're giving advice, don't worry about the Broncos or Cardinals. Obviously, trying to win those, right?
Play him
But let's
close.
focus. Yeah, play 'em close. Learn your lesson. You know, maybe those are some of the top users in the league. Maybe even watch them,
Mhm.
see what they're doing. Learn your lessons, lick your wounds. Come win the games against the Colts twice. Beat the Jags and Rams, and you got a big setup win play against Alex and the Texans in Week 15, which probably will be out for the division. So great storyline. Would love to see Titans win the division and sneak into the playoffs. Would be a fun one to cover. So funnest,
Shit.
yeah, the funnest roster in the league belongs in the playoffs, right?
I know, dude. Titans, like I was saying, Titans bandwagon. They took a couple hits. The bandwagon started making some noises. It started like shaking a little bit, but we picked up a spare tire with the Texans losing to
Yeah.
the Browns, and now we're back on the road and we're feeling good.
All right, that's awesome. Yeah, let's put him in average Joe's. Uh,
Yeah,
probably probably ahead of Steelers. Uh, yeah. Anywhere really. I mean
let's put them right
that's it.
right ahead of the
Yeah,
Texans. Texans are 3-3, 4-2,
yeah. I like it. I like it. And then the
and the
Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders.
Ooh,
Just
1-4.
only win against the Chargers. Let's see. The Broncos one was tough. Raider one was tough. I mean, yeah, not a lot of. He's not putting a lot of good tape out there. Hasn't scored more than 20 in a loss even.
Tough games though. Broncos,
Yeah,
Raiders, Cowboys, Lions. Those are all they're not bad losses.
good. You have two really good pick me up games against the Vikings and the Eagles, and then a test against the Packers. I think this is a window where we figure out what the Commanders are doing for the season. I mean, this is a great year to take opportunity of the, Cowboys' bad start, right?
He needs to. Yeah, and yeah, I think you
How
nailed
many?
it. Like, he needs to rattle off these 3 wins, pull off the upset against the Packers, be what, 4-5 going into the bye to feel like he has
Yep,
got some life in this season.
exactly. Yeah, and then coming out of plays against the Cowboys could be a big game too.
Mhm.
For the playoff race. But yeah, you're not gonna see the Cowboys slip from the playoff race too often. So definitely you gotta make something happen here. But for now, yeah, I mean bottom feeder with a huge upside, but still a
Yes.
bottom feeder. Woo! I like this. I like this. It's gonna be interesting revisiting these. I hope to see a lot of movement for some of these teams. I
Yeah,
hope
let me
to
take a
see
quick
some move
picture of
down,
this.
screenshot
Cool.
post.
Alright, yeah, guys, take it in. I'm sure you guys will all have, feedback and comments for us telling us you're either too low or too high or,
Yeah,
we talked about ourselves too much, so let us know. We'll be hitting you up for league member spotlights too. Remember, don't do it like Hank. But, anything else, for the boys here? We potted for a long time, hour and 16 minutes, shit.
powering a big pod for the homies. That's what I'm talking about. I was gonna say that. I think for the tiers, the biggest disrespect probably is towards the Cardinals. Them being 5-1, put them in the average Joes behind the Jets, behind the Dolphins who are 4-2. Um, but we had a good reasoning. So Cardinals have a Derek. Let me see. I want to see Cardinals move up. So let's see it. Other than that, man,
Yeah,
great pod. Yeah, long pod for the boys. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. I'm sure, again, like you said, I'm sure people disagree big time, but let's create conversation. Let's talk about it.
absolutely, and thanks to our boys riding along in the chat, our boy Stevie. We had Castro in here earlier, and then he dropped off, when we stopped talking about his team. Easy E in the chat, absolute beast, and,
Two time.
thank you, co-host. Thanks for jumping on, and, good pod.
Good pod, bro. We'll catch you next time.
Alright. Later, bro.